back together, trying to heal those divisions. And as she says, they're talking about delivery. You can tell that that's going to be her big message. She wants to come in here and, you know, I think in a less than subtle way, say to people.
Interesting. The tone was interesting. It was very assertive. Cycle. She made a point, and Jacob Rees-Mogg there will be.
There to Boris Johnson, which led to a rather awkward
general election.
OK, we will be back with you in just.
But suggested and alluded to in this speech just the difficult decisions they're going to have to.
Cheering him and saying what a marvellous Prime Minister was. He was literally a few days previously. He was.
How democracy works.
Some of the ways Liz Truss supporters describe her. Since a young age, she's been interested in politics. At the age
and giving it back in what they would call complicated ways.
We are now just a few minutes.
Loving you back in as Prime Minister.
It was interesting watching the leadership battle. How many kind of
secretary? There are other names that are being put.
And they are very hard workers.
Yeah, it is what everyone says about them, whether they are.
We'll be back tomorrow, certainly, because the new Prime Minister will be accepted by the Queen, will be invited to form a government by the Queen. That'll happen at Balmoral Castle in Aberdeenshire, the Queen's Scottish estate, and that's something that's already been arranged. Boris Johnson tomorrow will visit the Queen, tender his resignation, and then within a few minutes we'll see Liz Truss now, the new leader of the Conservative Party, being invited by the Queen to form a government, after which Liz Truss and the team will come back here to Downing Street, and we expect the new Prime Minister to make her first statement as Prime Minister in the street here, in line with tradition. Vicky and I will be here to see what she's got to say. And of course, one of those people keeping an eagle eye on all of this is the leader of the opposition, the Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer.
On BBC Two right now with Joe Coburn and guests on Politics Live.
She won the backing of Britain's next Prime Minister after she was declared the winner.
Somewhere last night, worked for a friend's wedding, and when I came back, the piece of
that are out there is going to save you in region about £227.
Beach holidays around Costa Teguise.
There is something
for our that we use all the fantastic
B, which probably is now where one should be focusing, is prices are.
Today, Madrid won the Champions League last season for a record 40.
Sorry, the party and the country more broadly know that we have to rally together to deliver good government on behalf of the British people.
You say hit the ground running, but the fact is what we've heard from her in the campaign has been no handouts in relation to the energy crisis. Then this morning, some of the newspapers apparently
Letter saying to them, this is your moment, come along, show us what you're made of, and at the end of it, we're going to get the public to vote for.
A muggy evening will follow as a band of thundery rain.
family.
Be there forever.
How big is the sky? Is it just a little one, or is it quite
it's
big?
Quite big.
Noticeable?
I suppose it's probably maybe about.
Yes, with fog patches developing in parts of the northeast, still peaking around about 18 to 22 Celsius with a bit of a breeze. That's forecast. And that is all for now. I'll be back with more news, sport.
Nothing wrong.
You haven't been honest with us.
During the affair, did you expect him to leave his wife?
I think his point about the Conservative.
Police in Canada are searching for two men suspecting 10 people to death. Multiple victims were found.
Oh, very good. And to the 22nd.
My boyfriend's a rock star!
I did it. I mean...
debt.
Servicing the debt is not really the issue, in the sense that it's fully costed.
These guys can grow.
Because we have a low growth economy. We've had a low growth economy.
The one that's
and then back. You've got one line
on a plan to unveil almost immediately is on the cost of.
And I think we will get that. But then there's a judgment. There's a judgment.
Whilst the leadership contest played out, businesses, schools, care homes and hospitals accepted the Queen's invitation to.
So there's a judgment on borrowing, there's a judgment on just how much help to.
And as the political crisis here continues.
And it is a brand new 2.5 years with COVID, with war, with these build-up of cost of living. We're a government in a hurry.
Weekend by Leslie, whose artist husband.
20 minutes later, the first roasts.
And indeed, part of AUKUS will be about the.
But unfortunately, what we've also heard from her, and one wonders why, she has come out.
And security protection zones set up.
By live cabinet appointments. You can't take your eyes off it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you stay with me, because coming up we will have.
From Northolt in the direction of 10 Downing Street, she is just passing.
And then down that way, I think.
I suspect he's probably not going.
People who are going to be members of her team.
By log burner, all the way.
Marinated steaks round, so everybody contributes to it.
There's one.
Was in there, Larry the cat, ancient Roman statesman. That's not Liz Truss's style.
It's not Liz Truss's style. And actually, it was interesting, wasn't it, that. Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
Apologies, Sophie. You know what the score is, though. I'm afraid sometimes these things happen.
Downing Street, so it'll be interesting to see how the media.
Walsh, who is one of the councillors here in Bolton. Now, let me just ask you first, John, was.
And Jacob Rees-Mogg there among them. We're expecting.
Quite honestly, if it's raining like this, it's hard to see her coming out and attempting to make a speech
and
in this.
In fact, they are moving the lectern because they don't want it damaged.
Yes, so there you go.
They don't want to damage it.
They may.
It's been a pleasure.
That sounded good.
That sounded good.
It sounded very.
Speech, yeah.
Because you couldn't do it in this, not in a million years.
No.
Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Liz Truss, arriving in Downing Street.
£1,000, John, it brings you up to 60.
For what he'll do next, he had a very characteristic flourish.
Let me say.
Execution expert.
Johnson delivered Brexit. History will see him as a hugely consequential.
Boots. Fitbits to furniture. Shop now with no
Vital time for our country. What makes the United Kingdom and in fair play? Is our fundamental belief in freedom, in enterprise, and in fairness. At a vital time for our country. What makes the United Kingdom aftermath of COVID? Now is the time.
protection, incredible discretion.
We need more investment, business-led growth, and in my mission to get the United Kingdom working, building and growing. Sure people are not facing unaffordable energy bills.
The wing.
No, I think I agreed with what he was.
Weeks. I was very amused, as you were, by the constant references to coping with.
You'll see the titles of
Boris Johnson, and so she is very happy, I think, to pay that tribute.
Coming, and I thought it was designed.
You know, she said she was convinced the British...
Optimistic as Liz Truss has tried to be throughout the leadership race. You know, she to see first from Liz Truss is to reverse the rise in national insurance.
Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz, where the aim of the game is to find the most obscure...
The thing, she and her Chancellor...
Bag here, films featuring...
And keep all of them, actually.
Give people a better chance of seeing their GPs.
Aftermath of COVID. Now is the time to tackle...
These four people have never met before, but by working as a team...